Welcome to the audiobook Ellis's Journey, containing books 6 through 9 in the Ellis Chronicles series, written by T.E. Robbens and narrated by Ashlynn Brooks. Thank you for purchasing this audiobook. We hope you enjoy it. Chapter 1. It was a cool mid-January day in 1989 in Georgia when Ellis woke early after a late night at work, and she hadn't slept well in anticipation of the upcoming events of the day. Her friend Bev had asked her to come by the store that she worked at to meet a single friend. Ellis had been single for months and was very nervous and anxious at the thought of meeting someone new. Despite being 22, Ellis was still living with her parents at that time, and dating was a bit rare since she had never told her parents, point blank, that she was gay. She often thought of getting her own place, but with her 60-hour-a-week job and college classes, she didn't see much point in renting some place and never being home to enjoy it. So Ellis jumped in the shower, wanting to have plenty of time to get ready and drive to town to meet Bev. She took extra care to shave her legs and dry her hair. When she was done, she took a last look in the mirror to be sure she looked okay. She had always thought of herself as fairly common-looking, not unattractive, but plain-looking. Her brown hair, hazel eyes, and husky 5-foot 10-inch frame would have probably been more suitable to a football player than a young lady. Even though she was quite large in the chest area, she was often mistaken for a man, which always drove her ex, Katie, crazy when it happened. She smiled to herself, thinking anything that drove Katie crazy was funny, and decided not to let that subject start spinning in her mind today. So she rushed through the kitchen and out the door, calling out, "Bye," and "See you later," to her parents. She had been so anxious to get to town that she was running a couple of hours early, so she pulled into a local college spot to grab a bite to eat while wasting a little time before visiting Bev. She pulled through the drive-thru for her food and parked in a corner spot on the far end of the parking lot where the sun was shining through. The sun felt nice on her arm as she ate her lunch, and she found herself wondering what Bev's friend would be like and if they might like each other. She didn't want to rush into anything, but to take her time with whatever relationship came next. She laughed to herself when she thought of the joke that was usually used to describe a lesbian's second date. Rent a U-Haul truck. When she finished eating, she still had over an hour to waste, so she leaned her head back and closed her eyes, thinking she would sneak a quick nap in after a long week at work. Maybe it was her nerves over meeting someone new, but she began to think of the beginning of her and Katie's relationship and their awkwardness in the beginning. Katie was a year younger than her and still in high school at the time, having never been with a man or woman, unlike Ellis's having had a brief sexual encounter with a 16-year-old boy a few summers ago. Neither of them had ever been with another woman, and looking back, things were pretty awkward, not knowing exactly what to do. As she sank into sleep a little deeper, she began to dream of the first time she and Katie had made love. It was at her parents' house when she was only 18, and they both were nervous her parents might hear them, but the heat between them was so intense they could not fight back the moment. Katie was spending the night as she had done before, but this night they seemed to be more aware of each other, and the tension was very thick. Leaving the radio playing softly for a little background noise to cover any sounds that might be made, she was hoping Katie was having the same thoughts. As they settled into bed, they each stayed on their own side, afraid to make the first move, thinking the other might not be having the same feelings. After what seemed like hours passing, she was startled when Katie rolled over and pressed her lips to hers. The first kiss was a little short, what with the surprise of it all. But as Katie pulled away, their eyes met in the low light showing from the radio dial. Ellis pulled Katie back to her and kissed her again, this time very slow and soft. As they continued to kiss, the heat began to grow between them, and the kisses became
Sample complete. Ready to continue?